What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Critical Nerd. Today, we're diving headfirst into what might be the single biggest corporate cage match in Hollywood history. Because Netflix and Paramount are fighting over the carcass of Warner Brothers Discovery like two raccoons in a dumpster behind a Denny's at 2 a.m. And folks, it is glorious. While you and I are arguing about whether the latest Marvel show is mid or mid with a budget, the suits are playing 4D chess with $100 billion on the table. And this week, the whole board just got flipped because the Netflix deal was supposed to be the done deal. And now we've got reports WBD might back out and possibly lean toward Paramount. Which is wild because backing out reportedly comes with a $2.8 billion breakup fee. I mean, in reality, that's not a fee. That's a ransom note with a quarterly payment plan. So today, what the Netflix deal actually is, what Paramount just offered, why WBD might actually flip, and what this means for HBO, DC, Harry Potter, aka your entire watch list. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you. Thank you for your support over the last couple of years, and welcome home. If you're new here, I cover Hollywood the way Hollywood should cover budgets, with math, skepticism, and receipts. Oh, one thing, if you would, for me, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos, especially the Netflix, Paramount, WBD saga, because this story changes faster than the studio executive's creative vision the minute Wall Street calls. All right, now let's set the board, shall we? WBD has been drowning in debt for years, ever since the Discovery Warner Media merger back in 2022. This company has been carrying tens of billions in debt like a backpack full of bricks on a hike through the Himalayas. And David Zaslav? Well, he's been running WBD like a garage sale for 3 years. Shelved projects, canceled shows, slashed budgets. If it moved, he cut it. If it didn't move, he cut it anyway, just in case it thought about moving. So last year, WBD announces a split. Studios and streaming become the shiny Warner Brothers side. Linear cable networks spin into their own thing, often framed as Discovery Global. And the moment that hit, well, every major player in Hollywood started circling like sharks, smelling blood in the water. Paramount came knocking early. Netflix entered later. And now we're in full secession episode territory. Let's clear up the biggest misconception. This isn't Netflix buys all of WBD and becomes emperor of media. Oh, no. It's more like Netflix saying, we'll take the filet mignon, you can keep the broccoli. Let me translate this for you guys. Netflix targets the premium studio streaming crown jewels. Think Warner Brothers Studios, DC, HBO Max, while the linear cable networks get separated or spun into another company. And we heard that the structure has evolved a little bit. I mean, originally it was pretty complicated. It was a mix of cash and Netflix stock, where now it's been morphed into all cash to calm shareholders who don't want stock market roulette. And the key milestone everybody keeps eyeing, well, that key milestone is the shareholder vote expected in April of 2026, just in a couple of months. So that's deal A. Netflix buys the premium assets. WBD shareholders vote in April. Everybody pretends this is the future. And then Paramount said, hold my $1 billion beer. Now, Paramount's strategy, it's not subtle. They're like, yes, hello? Yeah. We would like to purchase the entire company for cash. Here's the number. Their offer is $30 per share, all cash, for the whole enchilada, the whole thing. And here's where it gets spicy. Paramount has now said that they'll cover the breakup fee. Yeah, the $2.8 billion breakup fee, Paramount said, yeah, we'll pay it. And that's like your new date offering to pay off your ex's dinner tab. Bold, slightly unhinged, but pretty bold. And then Paramount added in a ticking fee. The ticking fee is a quarter per share per quarter beyond 2026. Let me translate this for you folks. If this takes forever, we'll keep paying you while you wait. That's Paramount trying to neutralize shareholder fear, deal limbo. Then they went full scorched earth. Paramount isn't just negotiating, they're litigating, they're campaigning, they're doing PR. They're basically running for student council on the platform of Netflix is a monopoly and I will save movies. And when a bidder starts suing you, nominating board members, and dropping open letters, that's not a negotiation. That's a hostile Thanksgiving dinner. Now the bombshell. Reports say WBD's board is, for the first time, seriously discussing re-engaging with Paramount. Up until now, Paramount has been turned down repeatedly like a guy trying to get back with his ex by sending "you up" texts at 2:17 in the morning. Rejected, rejected, rejected. But this latest offer? Something's changed. And here's the part that matters. WBD's board can't ignore a proposal that looks, I'll just say it, superior. Because that's how you end up with shareholder lawsuits in a boardroom full of people suddenly pursuing other opportunities. And you know who's turning up the heat? Activist investors. They're loud, media savvy, and they give cover to other shareholders thinking, maybe Netflix isn't the only option. And that's why WBD might be wavering. Not because they're bored, but because Paramount is basically saying, I'll pay more, I'll pay the penalty, and I'll pay you extra if it takes too long. That's a pressure campaign with a checkbook. Here's the brutal truth. The best deal isn't the prettiest pitch. It's the one that closes. Netflix can write a huge check, but the bigger Netflix gets, the more it triggers the consolidation alarm. And once politicians start sniffing around a media merger, it turns into a slow motion headache where everyone pretends they care about competition while they really care about cameras. Now, Paramount's offer, it's richer on paper, but it's also we're buying everything, which means the classic corporate ritual of where a CEO says synergy and 4,000 people update LinkedIn. Also, these deals aren't just math. They're ego, control, logo placement. Who gets the corner office? Because Hollywood's favorite genre isn't superhero movies. It's executive delusion. So what does this all mean for you, for me, for those that consume DC, Harry Potter, et al.? Well, if Netflix wins, expect Netflix to become the content Death Star. More franchise mining, more event series, more data-driven creative decisions, possibly more Netflixification of HBO prestige brand. If Paramount wins, you get mega entity that rivals Disney by sheer library mass. But also integration chaos, strategy whiplash, big promises about theatrical windows that may vanish the second the numbers get ugly. Either way, fans get the same corporate outcome. Your favorite franchises will be quote unquote optimized, which is corporate speak for we're going to squeeze this IP until it files for workers' comp. Here's what to watch for next. Does WBD formally re-engage Paramount? Well, if yes, expect filings, meetings, and a sudden wave of productive talks. Next would be the shareholder temperature check. If activists gain momentum, the April vote path gets a little bit shakier. And then the April 2026 vote window. That's the moment the market either rubber stamps Netflix or detonates this into a true bidding war. And remember, if the deal language allows it, Netflix can come back and say, fine, we'll match or we'll raise. Which is exactly how this turns into an all-out corporate cage match. So that's where we stand. Two media titans slugging it out, activist investors screaming from the sidelines, politicians grandstanding, and David Zaslav sitting in the middle trying to figure out which billionaire writes the biggest check. Hollywood, man, you can't make this stuff up. Well, yeah, you can. That's literally what Hollywood does. They're just not very good at it anymore. Drop a comment. Who wins this, Netflix or Paramount? Or are you team just let Warner Brothers be Warner Brothers? Again, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, because trust me, this story is moving fast and I'm going to cover every twist. That's it for the Critical Nerd. Keep your expectations low and your receipts high, and I will see you later.